forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet.
I think you guys can already figure out what is the purpose of this video. It's a very short ride. It's around 140 kilometers, right? 140 kilometers. It's rented. The renting details, where the services we have rented, he has rented, we'll give it in the description box below. I have also rode it for around 14-15 kilometers. 14 to 15 kilometers I have rode it. I'll take some bit of review from him. I will give even smaller review from myself. Let's see how it goes.
They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet.
Buddy, we or our audience have missed you in the Chikmagalur trip. So at least we had this small trip. Now I think you are pretty much enthusiastic about buying a new bike and you are tested this. So I will since you have rented this bike, I will again start off by asking you the simple question: how did you think the condition of the bike since it was rented?
Thanks, Prati. I rented this bike from Wicked Ride. The process was fine because it is very smooth. The condition of the bike is also very good. I didn't find any problems in it.
Any extra sound or any?
A bit of squeaking sound was coming from the brakes. Other than that, I didn't find any. Maybe they should have lubed the chain a bit. Yeah, other than that, everything is smooth. And this bike ran around 13,000 kilometers.
13,000 kilometers.
Considering 13,000 and from a rented bike, it's pretty good condition.
So overall, how did you feel? Means you can just list out all the pros and cons you found and let our viewers understand that if they are thinking of having this as a daily commuter or as a highway rider or anything, what all perspectives they should check, or is it worth for them?
Before going to the review, let me tell which bikes I used earlier.
Yeah.
I have a 2007 Pulsar, still using it, pretty good condition. Last 2 years I used Royal Enfield Thunderbird and I sold it, and I'm still looking for another bike, and I'm a Royal Enfield fan, so my review might be biased towards Royal Enfield.
Okay, no problem. That much I understand.
And the best thing in Royal Enfield is always engine, nothing else. Electronics, brakes, nothing will be good. The position of the bike, the comfort and the engine will be good. The same DNA is maintained in this bike as well.
I feel the first pro, the engine is very powerful.
The Thunderbird which I had, it's a raised handlebar, and the leg position is up front, forward position. So it was pretty, even after riding for 100 kilometers, I never had any fatigue. As an example, if someone is riding from Whitefield to Electronic City via Silk Board, you'll understand how much pain it is.
Yeah.
But still, if you ride Royal Enfield, considering my experience and telling, others might have a different opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Say Thunderbird, you will not have fatigue because of the torque. It will be pretty smooth. The only problem is going through the traffic. If you're driving without going through the traffic, and if you're riding straight, it will be pretty smooth. You will not have any fatigue. But if you take it on a long ride, after 70 it vibrates like hell. Coming to the point, I sold the bike Thunderbird because within city it is very difficult to flick through the traffic, and in highways I cannot go beyond 70. So I sold it and I was looking for another bike. Then they've Royal Enfield introduced Interceptor. So I wanted to test ride this. I don't want to take another mistake of taking one more Royal Enfield and struggling through. So I wanted to test ride and took this bike. As soon as I took the bike, the first thing is the seat is very bad. I think the designer was designing it and might have gone to washroom and they thought it was a completed design and they took it. It felt like that. Even the Hero Honda, what is this, Passion seat would be much more comfortable on this.
Oh, that is really bad.
These foot pegs comes in your way when you're pulling your bike backward.
Yeah, even.
But you will get adjusted very fast. but it is still it's a problem.
When this bike doesn't absorb you, when you cannot be one with the bike itself, you cannot feel connected to the bike. You cannot feel you are taking care of the bike or the bike is taking care of you. And this is absolutely missing in this. This is pushing me out. It is like the first chance it gets, it will pop me out of the seat. That is absolutely bad. The power delivery, the linearity is not there. If you have raised until 60 or 70 kph, after that you don't even understand when you are reaching 100 kph. So that is like beautifully smooth. You feel like floating on it. But the first 3 gears, it is like very abrupt, very non-linear. The clutch shifting is awesome. About the posture of the bike, the handle, I feel, I don't know, means it might be because I ride GS and another bikes, the bikes that I have rode, that can be a defect because of those experience. But I think the tank is much lengthier. So, and the seat, I don't know, the construction is somewhere weird, I felt, for which you cannot go front properly and either you have to lean. So that comfort that Royal Enfield always used to have. I have ridden his Thunderbird as well. It gives me absolute pleasure to ride it, no matter how much long you are riding it. But this one, if something is wrong, means I think you need a lot of time to get adjusted to it. At least 15 kilometers was not enough for me. There are much better riders who can get adjusted to it, and there are much more Royal Enfield experienced people. They can be, but for me, there's some disconnection. And when the seating is disconnected that much, I am really not a big fan of that thing.
They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it, getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began, just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks.
Definitely the rider experience is not everything, at least in our lives. So we are gonna shift and call the pillion rider, who is equally as important in our lives as in the bike. So let's welcome Shweta. Hey, thanks Shweta for also joining us again. Thanks for your time. As a pillion rider, I will start off with the basic only. The moment you both would have gone for taking the delivery of the bike from the rental services, so I would ask you the same question. The moment you sat on it, what was your first initial impression?
Seat problem, because I am not comfortable with the seat. And when we started from that place, and when he was raising, initially I felt good only, but when he started accelerating more, I felt like I was about to fall, because there is no back rest.
Right.
So I was about to fall. So I need something to hold. That is the main part required for the pavilion, right? They need to hold something, and nothing is available. So we need to hold him only. If we keep holding the rider, then it's a problem for them also, because we need to. They will be riding, and they need to.
They should not have any blockage.
Yeah. Yes. And I felt that, and I was not much comfortable in this Interceptor.
You also rode 15 kilometers along with me as a pillion. So how did you feel? Anything? Definitely your experience would be compared to GS, because
Yeah.
we were riding GS. So just give a short brief. What did you feel the difference?
First of all, the seat height, that gap you can see from seat and that pillion foot peg, it's very small. So it was not comfortable for me at all. The cushioning, not comfortable. Yeah, the grab rail is here, but I don't know, I can consider it as a grab rail or
So it doesn't serve the purpose.
not at all.
Not at all.
Here you always have to dependent on your rider's back. You have to always lean forward to your rider. You have to always grab the rider's thigh to sit on tightly on that.
So would you and Shweta agree that it is a very romantic bike?
Yeah, it is a romantic bike.
Well,
If you are on, yeah, it is forced romance.
It's the fourth romantic bike, no problem, guys.
The good things about it is its engine. It was very smooth, and vibration, it has no vibration at all. So compared to GS has
lot of vibration.
lot of vibrations in
But
foot
another
peg
thing, I couldn't ride it above 100 kph, so I don't think you got the scope of seeing the vibrations.
that's true, but
Within 100 also, I think it has much lesser vibration than GS.
it was like butter smooth.
Cool.
So
Right. So engine is again superbly
no,
great.
super smooth.
Which type of riders would you recommend Interceptor 650?
Those who don't have girlfriends, maybe.
So you are kind of telling that it is for the single people?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
No.
Why exactly?
People will have a different opinion. They might. I think we might get comments in the section like we are giving a different review, but those are the people who already have Interceptor. I think they have to stand there by side. Otherwise, if your plan is to travel with a pillion, this is not the right bike. Even if you change the seat to aftermarket because of the power delivery, I don't think pillion will have much comfort. Even if you consider the leg positioning of the pillion, it is not so comfortable. It is so cramped. You will not feel comfortable in that.
You want to tell if somebody goes for a long tour, single, alone. is it
Long
fine?
ride also I don't say it is comfortable. If you are going on a weekend ride for a breakfast ride, single solo, then it is a very good bike.
Oh.
You can have a good time with this. It has a very good power. I reached until 100 and 120 max because this is a rented bike. I cannot go beyond that. Still, I could feel that there is power left. So I think if you are a solo rider and going for a breakfast rides, weekend rides, I think this is a perfect bike for it. We cannot say that there are completely negatives in these bikes. There are definitely positives in it. If you see the engine is very good, the brakes are very good. You get a lot of confidence as you keep using those brakes. The confidence builds up, and the shock absorbers are very good. The negatives will be the foot peg position, the seating, and the position of the rear view mirrors.
Okay.
That's it. I think if they can take care of the foot peg positioning, rear view mirrors, and the seating, I think it is overall a pretty good package.
On a rating of 1 to 10?
On rating of 1 to 10, I'll give it.
Only as a single rider.
I said I am a Royal Enfield fan, so I would say 8.5.
That is really biased. That is very, very biased. Okay, no matter. Pass on to the pillion and we'll ask the same. If you think there are any pros and cons, if you can summarize in bit of points and give a rating on scale of 1 to 10 only as a pillion.
I would like to give 6.5 because pavilion wise it's not much comfortable, because if they are adjusting the seat positions and back stands and foot pegs, then I may give a 9 without that. I mean, after changing that I may give 9, but without that it is 6.5.
So you are telling if these three things which are mainly annoying to
Yeah.
you, if those three are taken care, you
Yes.
will just make your rating from 6.5 to 9.
Yes, because that is the thing which is required for pavilion, right?
So I think that then this masterpiece do have a good scope of improvement. And if this is right, then I think as you are expecting, Himalayan 650 of twin cylinder of the same cousin, then I think if they are taking care of all this, it is gonna have a blast rating.
By default, Himalayan, I think mostly my concerns would have been taken care,
Yeah.
and mostly her concerns also would have been taken care.
Right.
Only thing left would be the power delivery.
Yeah.
If they can make it much linear and smoother delivery, I think I'll go.
Yeah,
for
even
it. It's
I
a very
too
good
feel
package.
so,
Yeah.
because being Himalayan as an adventure bike, adventure model they are making, definitely seating comfort will be taken care. We all hope so. The rear view mirrors, that can be a bit adjustable, that can be taken care from the showroom people only some way. But the only thing that will be bothering us still is the power delivery. If they can change a bit of the power delivery, I think it will be great and good.
Maybe perhaps fewer audience like the younger generations might like the G-force they get in this. Perhaps they are targeting those audience only.
Might be.
But if they want to take care of their existing fans, Royal Enfield fans, perhaps they should make it much more linear. Or they should give an option to make it linear.
Wow, that's really a great compliment. I have nothing else more to say. This coming of a genuine Royal Enfield fan, I think this review should be taken seriously. As far I know, even him personally, he always brags about Royal Enfield and he's making that, they are making this. And he telling that this machine still have a very good scope if only 3 important things which are not there as a Royal Enfield DNA are taken care. I think this is gonna be a blast one. And we are all waiting for Himalayan 650 parallel twin, the same cousin of this machine. Let's see what happens. Thanks Tulsi, thanks Shweta. It's been beautiful and a fantastic analysis from this. Until next time, stay tuned, ride safe,
Stay colorful.
bye.